Hello, Facebook friends. Today is day 10 of the 30-day free mentorship series, and I thought I'd continue from yesterday's lesson about how to be effective with your networking and reaching out to people. So yesterday I talked about the value of networking, especially now with COVID-19. We want to be very strategic. We want to be very smart. And we want to be very creative when it comes to networking because things on the planet have changed dramatically for a lot of people. You know, I have friends who had to shut their doors on their businesses and companies. I've also had connections that got sent home from their jobs and they may never return. However, that doesn't mean it's doom and gloom. You see, it's an interesting phenomenon that's happening right now, and it's up to you to make that paradigm shift in your own life. You see, there's two things happen when things like a pandemic or tragedy or a shift in the economy or whatever happens to change the face of how things normally run, okay? There are only two things. One, people get confused and they dig their heels and bitch and complain and woe is me, life is hard, why me? And they play victim. They play the poor me, I'm feeling sorry for myself card. That's the first thing, or the first phenomenon. The second phenomenon that happens is entrepreneurs become wealthy. And when you look back in history and you think about anybody who went through, say, in the 1930s when there was a crash in the US and the economy and a lot of people lost their wealth and certain things. A lot of things came up because of that caused a lot of people to go on to become phenomenal leaders, wealthy people. A lot of people created a lot from the Great Depression. So why am I saying this? Well, if there are only two categories, which category do you fall into? Are you someone who's willing to throw your arms up and quit and give up and go, man, life is hard, there's a pandemic, I can't do anything, woe is me, I don't know what to do? Or are you going to start being innovative? You're going to start being creative. You're going to start thinking outside the box, realizing that change is happening around you, whether you like it or not, and adapt. Because that's all that matters, because the people who adapt are the people who succeed. So what does that have to do with networking effectively? It's very simple. You now have to start thinking differently. Start thinking, well, wait a second. I'm not making the effort to learn new ways of reaching out to people. I'm not making the effort to master social media. I'm not making the effort to master online marketing or running an effective business from home online. Now, I've been doing that for over 20 years, not only for myself and helping other people. So I can definitely help you. So reach out to me if you want to start thinking differently, if you want to start being innovative. You know, there was a study done recently where it showed that a business card that you may have sitting in your desk or in your drawer or in a filing system could be worth $10,000 to you. However, it's not going to be worth $10,000 to you if you don't pick it up and reach out to that person and form a relationship, form a working relationship, a business relationship. Find out what services they offer. See if you can help them provide their services to someone, and you could be the middle person and you could generate income. See, you have to start thinking differently. You have to start thinking outside the box for your circumstances to change. You can't keep doing the same thing over and over again expecting different results. That's the definition of insanity, right? So, do you have a box of business cards? Do you have a folder with business cards? Do you have a database of people you haven't reached out to? How well do you know the people on your social media? When was the last time you private messaged someone on your Facebook and say, hey, we should have a talk or do a Zoom. I'd like to get to know you better and learn about what you do and see if I can help you find clients or introduce you to people that could use your service. When was the last time you did something like that? You see, that's thinking outside the box. That's moving with the changes. That's adapting to the current circumstances. You see, when we look at history, ladies and gentlemen, any species that went extinct, okay, and we're not talking about the ones that man selfishly and stupidly destroyed. We're talking about species that disappeared because of natural progression, okay? Do you want to be one of those species? Do you want to be someone who disappears and vanishes because you don't adapt? You see, when those species didn't adapt to climate or conditions, weather conditions, whatever was going on the planet at the time, volcanic, the shifting of the tectonic plates, we know what went on where islands and land masses came up from the ground because of volcanic and activity in the ocean. And you know, I don't want to give you a geography lesson right now, but there were species that were moved to different parts of the world. You know, they ended up on different continents because of the dividing of the continents. And a lot of in many instances, like Hawaii and a lot of the islands in the Caribbean, like where I'm from, it was underwater. So as these land masses came up, animals at the time, they moved because the land was also moving. So they ended up in different parts of the world where normally they would not end up. So why am I telling you this? Well, what does your future look like? Are you someone who's transforming? Are you changing? Are you moving with the shifts in the economy? Are you moving with the changes going on? Are you someone that's going to dig your heels and go, oh, life is hard, poor me, I'm going to leave my wife, I'm going to quit on my husband, I'm going to bitch and complain about the kids, I'm going to pick up the phone and gossip about my girlfriends, blah, 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 right? Or are you going to be someone who goes, okay, you know what? There's a shift going on, things are changing, the planet will never be the same, I'm going to become more effective than ever with how I am and what I do. I'm going to make a difference for myself. So networking effectively is one of those things. Are you making the adjustments and changes necessary to be an effective networker? Because whether you're running a business or you're networking to create more friends and a social network, what are you doing to make that better? So that's the lesson today, is start looking and exploring ways to become more effective as a networker. If you want assistance and help with that, private message me. I have clients I'm helping with that. In fact, I'm meeting with one on Sunday who's actually hired me to work with him personally because he just launched an amazing beverage line and he's already got it into stores and with people, but he wants to expand it bigger and bigger and bigger. And he's having a challenge networking and connecting with the right people because he's heading up the sales department with his own brand, his own product, and he wants me to assist him. So people are making those adjustments every single day. Are you? Are you figuring out how to be an effective networker so that you can adjust with the changes? You can shift your paradigm. You can create what you want from nothing and generate what you want to generate, irrelevant of what's happening on the planet. So again, this is Anil with Anil Now and the free mentorship series. Stay tuned for day 11 tomorrow. I'm happy I'm in double digits right now. Today's day 10. Have fun networking effectively and figuring out how you can become better at becoming an effective networker. Love you.